Now, Tennessee Titans, who their big acquisition this offseason was DeAndre Hopkins, which is going to help out that pass offense in Tennessee. Tennessee last year was 30th in the NFL in offensive yards and 28th in scoring. So DeAndre Hopkins will fill a void that is needed at the wide receiver spot, because I believe last season Robert Woods was the Titans' leading receiver with 527 yards. So, and the Titans' offense was dreadful. Derrick Henry did everything he could. He had 1,538 yards on the ground, but it wasn't enough as the Titans won 7 games. They went 7-10 and finished second place in the AFC South. So now you ask yourself, what's in store this season for the Titans? Well, I think the Titans are gonna probably finish second again in this division, because the Colts and the Texans are pretty much at the bottom, and the Jaguars are the clear best team in the division. But the Titans, if any team could challenge the Jaguars in the division, it would be the Titans. Is it possible that the Titans could have a better season than last year record-wise? Yeah, of course. And we'll see if that happens as we go over the schedule. And so, speaking of the schedule, let's get the schedule out, shall we? Here's the schedule. Just off the screen because it's in my way. Now, week 1 will be at New Orleans. They're going down to New Orleans to take on the Saints at the season opener at New Orleans, September 10th, Sunday. I'm giving the Titans I'm going to give the W here. I think they're going to New Orleans and they win this game. That's right. DeAndre Hopkins, Ryan Tannehill, Tanny Boy, Derrick Henry. I think they have enough to go into New Orleans and get that victory. Week 2 at home against the LA Chargers. Justin Herbert, who's already the greatest thing since sliced bread before he even proves that he's the greatest thing. He's already been anointed the next GOAT. Herbert comes into Tennessee. Can he get the W in week 2? You know what? I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to say yeah. I think it'll be a close game. I think it's going to come down to maybe a field goal of some sorts. And with the defense a bit shaky, I think Herbert could put up some yards. Herbert is going to come in here and get the W. So I'm giving the L to Tennessee in week 2. They're going to fall to 1-1. Then week 3, they go out to Cleveland, where I fully expect them to wet the bed in Cleveland against the Cleveland Shits, and they will get the loss there. So things are not looking good early on. 1-2. Hopkins is not happy. They got the Cincinnati Bengals coming up in week 4, and people are starting to say, hey, should they give Levis the ball? All right, is Tannehill, can he get it done? All right, so week 4 comes in. They at home hosting Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals, and that high-powered offense. They get into a high-flying offense, and Joe Burrow comes out on top, and they lose again. So now the Bengals get the win. So now the Titans are 1-3 with a 3-game losing streak heading to the Colts. They go to Indianapolis to take on the Colts in week 5. And surprise, surprise, the Colts win this game, and the Titans are on a 4-game losing streak as they go 1-4 through the first 5 weeks. There's panic. Mike Vrabel, will it be called for his job? Remember, Mike Vrabel is a guy who made the playoffs 3 of his first 5 years here in Tennessee, but now people are starting to wonder, is it time for a change? Ownership comes out, front office says, look, Vrabel's our guy, we sticking with him. We're fully confident in Mike Vrabel's ability to turn this thing around. So after the bye week is coming up in 2 weeks, but first they got to host the Baltimore Orioles. This is an 8:30 in the morning game. I think this is one of these international games that'll be on NFL Network, so most people won't even know that is happening. So a slight change, a change of scenery. Maybe the Titans will play better, but they don't. They lose again. They lose to the Baltimore Ravens in some country that most people won't know about. And now going into the bye week, the Tennessee Titans will be on a 5-game losing streak, 1-5 going into the bye week. Chances of them making the playoffs is slim to none because teams don't just come back from 1-5 to do it to make any noise. But the bye week is here. Calls again for Mike Vrabel to be fired, possibly. Maybe they change coordinators. Maybe they get someone else to come in here. Maybe they make a trade. Who knows? Bye week comes in. Week 8, they host the Atlanta Falcons. They get the win. So they snap their 5-game losing streak against the Falcons. Then things can get tricky because the next 3 games are on the road for the Titans. So can they turn their season around is the question, as they're now 2-5 heading into week 9. And they got to go to Pittsburgh, Tampa, and Jacksonville. And I believe, that's 3 road games in a row. Trip starts. They head off to Pittsburgh, 7:15 on Prime Video, Amazon Prime. That's a November 7 game, Thursday night. Do they get the win in Pittsburgh? They lose Pittsburgh. It's going to be a close game, come down to a field goal. Pittsburgh for the win at the buzzer. And the Steelers win on Thursday Night Football. And that's another loss for the Titans. So now they're 2-6. Did I say 2-6? Sorry. Yes. 2-6. Week 10 at Tampa. They get lucky here. They get the win. So now, will they season turn around? That's the question. 3-6 now. Here come the Titans. Can they pull off a run? If they could just squeak by and possibly win Jacksonville, the rest of their schedule would be kind of favorable in the next couple of weeks to get some wins. They got to go to Jacksonville and beat the Jaguars. They got to beat Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Calvin Ridley's having a heck of a season right now. Week 11, he's one of the best fantasy wide receivers right now. He's putting up crazy stats. But can the Tennessee Titans slow down Trevor Lawrence and Calvin Ridley, who's having arguably the best 1-2 punch in the league right now this season? Of course, this is all projection. But no, they don't. They lose in Jacksonville. So that's another loss. That's 3-7 going into week number 12. At home to Carolina, I give them a win there. I think they beat the Panthers. So now, will there be a winning streak happening for Titans? Because they got to close out the season strong for any chance at a possible wild card. Any chance. So after winning 3 of their last 5 games, they are home to the Colts. They win that. They go to Miami and somehow get the victory in Miami. How did they pull it off? On ESPN and Monday Night Football. The whole world is watching, and the Miami Dolphins choke in Week 14 as a critical win for the critical game for the Dolphins, as they needed to stay in the race for a possible playoff positioning. And instead, the Tennessee Titans win this game, which can come back later and help them in any type of wild card situation. Choke job by the Dolphins. So now that the Titans are on a 3-game winning streak for the last 5, going down home to the Houston Texans, where they beat the Texans. They're on a streak now, 4 in a row. They're at home to the Seattle Sea Chickens. They beat the Sea Chickens. Can you believe that? The Sea Chickens, they're now on a 5-game winning streak, and they got the Houston Texans next week, which should be an easy one because the Texans suck. And guess what happens? The day before New Year's Eve, on Fox, the Henry runs all over the Houston Texans, 200-yard rushing, and the Tennessee Titans beat Houston. DeAndre Hopkins also had a big game against his former team as well, and now the Titans are on a 6-game winning streak in the final game of the season against the Jacksonville Jaguars at home. game 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 6. And they won 6 in a row. 7 of 8. The hottest team in football, the Tennessee Titans. Can they beat the Jaguars to keep their playoff hopes alive? Dun, 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 dun. Doesn't happen. January 7th, final game of the season. Can the Titans beat the Jaguars at home for the season to save their season? Hottest team in football. What happens? Let's preview it. First quarter, the Jaguars take a 7-0 lead. Halftime, 14-7 Jags. Third quarter, 14-10 Jags. We're going to the fourth quarter. The game's on the line. 2 minutes to go. The Jaguars with a 21-17 lead. Fourth quarter, with the ball. Tanny boy with the ball coming down. Jaguars will get the win. The snap. The Titans 6-game winning streak. So they lose week 18 to the Jacksonville Jaguars to close out the season 9-7. Poor Titans. That may not be enough to make the playoffs, or it could be enough to get the wild card depending on how things turn out. Right? The good news is that they will be second place in the division. They will win 2 more games than last season, according to our predictions. And what a second half of the season. Hottest team in the season. They're going to be the hottest team in the second half. They're going to pull off a 6-game winning streak. But that pick 6 by Tannehill may cost the Titans this season. And that's that for the Tennessee Titans. 9-7. Let's recap. After starting the season, losing 5 in a row, they will put together a 6-game winning streak in the second half, and they will fall short. They'll fall short of 10 wins by 1 play. Thanks to Ryan Tannehill.